What is up, Thunder fans? Welcome back. Thunder form as we discuss another win for the Thunder. It's been a while. Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate you being back on here with us. And the Thunder just totally wallop the Clippers in the second half. I mean, that was a whipping in the second half. Just totally flipped the script. This team continues with iHeart just to be, I mean, this team right now, guys, they're playing so good right now without Chet. I mean, I don't even know what to think. It's unbelievable because iHeart can be that guy, the number 5, a true number 5 center, and then everybody else around him does. Shai's points have went way up. I mean, they're playing outstanding right now. Just a whipping in the second half.
Yeah, down. They were down entering the second half, and then just take it to a whole nother level. At one point, a 25-7 run. Maybe I can find the total of what it finished with in a second on that run, but it just unbelievable. Completely take over a game, and that's what they do. Like at any time, seems like they start to struggle. They just find ways. They're now 17-1 with Isaiah Hartenstein. I saw the tweet a couple nights ago from Brandon Rabar, I believe, Thunder reporter, of they were like 38 points from Fred VanVleet away from being undefeated with Isaiah Hartenstein on this team. I mean, if it wasn't for an insane game performance and just single shot from VanVleet down in Houston, Thunder are on an 18-game win streak with Hartenstein.
You're right, and I'm going to say something, and because I've said it behind closed doors, but I'm going to say it publicly, and I don't care if people bash me for it. Y'all can laugh. I don't care. And Hunter, you're already shaking your head. I don't care. Just let me finish this. Oklahoma City Thunder, if you had to have one player with the current team they have, you're better off having iHeart than you are with Chet. With this current roster, you're better with iHeart. If you had to pick one.
Hey, when you say it like that, it's not that bad of a take. But the way that you said it when you first said it privately was way different. That's why.
No, I'm just saying he's the better fit with this team if you had to pick one.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you that
more than anything, it gives them that.
And I'll tell you why that's correct, Jay. Notice SGA's points. First off, SGA's playing at an unbelievable tilt right now. Okay, unbelievable tilt. But the ball screens that iHeart sets are different than Chet. Now, obviously, having Chet's going to be unbelievable. You add Chet to this lineup, it's phenomenal. Yes. But if you're talking about balls, I mean, he's a different type of guy. But now you're going to have 2 rim protectors, guys. It is going to be – you're going to have 2 rim protectors and Lou Dort on the edge defending. I mean, this team is going to be very difficult to score on in a 7-game set.
Yeah, and I think something that we've talked about all year long on these OKC lives since the season started is the ability of ways that they're able to win games, whether it's defense, offense, whether it's Isaiah Hartenstein being the reason why they win the game, whether it's the impact that he has on the floor, whether it's them going on these insane runs in the second half, whether it's them starting off the game so fast that they get so far ahead that in the second half, it's really not much of a concern to be concerned about the other team getting back into the game with just the amount of talent that OKC has. But, guys, Jason, you said it. I think what Isaiah Hartenstein brings to this team is maybe the best fit a single player has had on one OKC team since the Thunder have started as a basketball organization. I don't think that's crazy to say because it's like – he fits what they need so well. It's perfect. The rebounding, the defense, the passing. When you need him to score, he can score too. He's not a liability to not score the ball. What Isaiah Hartenstein brought to this team, I think that there's an argument outside of Shai that Isaiah Hartenstein is the most important player on this OKC team when everyone's healthy. And I don't know if that's even a stretch of a take because of all the things he does so well.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, thanks so much for the super. We really appreciate it. Thank you. You very supportive of the channel, so we appreciate it. Colin talking about Chet at the 4, iHeart at the 5 for sure. That's the way to go. Also, it's helped having Arkansas Jalen Williams back. I played 18 minutes.
So, hey,
bad game tonight. He missed a lot of shots. Yeah.
Hey, guys, you talk about playoffs. The second unit's second unit is big in playoffs. Your second unit. So now you look at it, because OKC all year is kind of, they've wiggled in and out who they've played at that last position. They've gone Wiggins, they've gone Joe, they've gone Wallace. I mean, it's been a whole lot of different. Now you look at it, when Chet does come back, you can solidify who your next five are. And to me, guys, it's going to be Caruso, it's going to be Case and Wallace, it's going to be probably Joe or Wiggins or both, with Jay Will at the center spot. Is that what you guys have?
I think they're going to go to a 10-man rotation for the playoffs. Maybe 11 every now and then, but 10, and those are the 10 that it's going to be, as you mentioned. Like Casey Wallace, we talk about him a lot when he's able to, when he gets the opportunity to start, he usually has a really good game. I mean, tonight, 4 of 6, 9 points. Nothing outrageous from him, but still a solid night. Aaron Wiggins had a really good night, plus 16 and plus minus. He got the start tonight. So you're going to have those guys off the bench. And Isaiah Joe is going to be the three-point shooter for the Thunder in that. I mean, Jay Will had a bad night. Yes, like he did. But as of late, he's actually been pretty good since he came back for what you can expect. And I think A.J. Mitchell plays some. I don't know how
he's a
much.
good three-point shooter right now.
He is. It's just when you get down to the playoffs, you're closing off your rotations. Like, I usually 10 is that number. So if that's the case, I mean, who's not going to play for A.J. Mitchell to be able to play? I don't know yet.
Yeah, and I think something about that too is also whenever you get to the playoffs, it could also be dependent on the matchup as well. Like, are you going to need guys more like A.J. Mitchell or Kenrich Williams? Or can you stick with going a little bit more small with guys like Aaron Wiggins and Jay Will and have guys like that, just depending on who you play? Because if you were to face a team like that, like the Mavericks again, I mean, I think you would probably want to have a little bit more size with guys like Kenrich Williams and A.J. Mitchell. Not that A.J. Mitchell is big, but he's really good on the glass, and he does everything extremely well for a rookie. And I have no idea how Sam Presti continues to find these great players in the second round, guys.
He's a great evaluator. Yeah, and by the way, about the backup point guard, it doesn't matter, guys. Caruso can bring the ball up. He's a great assist guy. When you get in the playoffs, you got to go with guys like that. And by the way, that unit we just said, guys, Joe's the weakest defender. Outside of him, that's an elite defensive group. Wiggins, Wallace, and Caruso and Jay. People are gonna have a hard time scoring on that group.
Yeah, I here's the thing though. You can talk 10 deep all you want. When you get in playoffs, and you talked about that second group, a lot of those guys, they're not going to be playing. It's not like they're bringing a second group in together. They're just going to be plugged and played with the first team unit. I mean, they're going to be swapping guys in. So it's not going to be that whole group's going to be a great defensive group because they're not going to be playing together. You know, you're going to plug and play. I do think it's going to be interesting because as it sits right now, I mean, I don't know if you all have looked at the standings. Thunder have a 5.5 game lead over second place.
Yeah.
5.5 games already. It's crazy.
Growing, and then you're going to see some really good matchups over this next week for the Thunder. You have the two top teams in the East. The Thunder are going to play, which are two of the three top teams in the NBA. The East is a little bit at the top, a little bit more competitive than it is right now in the West. And Zach, about Cam Johnson, I'll open it with that because I know Jeremy's going to have a different opinion on this.
You can't make a trade. You can't.
I'm with you, Jay. I do not think it's worth it. You're also going to have to give up, in my opinion, way too many first-round picks to get that to happen.
Why would you make a trade?
Okay. Exactly. Why do you
I'm
make
going
it?
to explain what I would say, but first I want to say to Joseph, Wiggins is really good defensively. I mean,
I don't think he's really good.
He hasn't been that good this season compared to what he has been.
Going into the season, he was really good, guys. I'm just saying. I think it was.
I'm going to ask a question to you and Jackson. You and Jackson. I want to ask a question to you two.
Okay, I want to talk about Cam Johnson. But
that's what I'm saying right here. I want you two to answer your opinion. Do you think they should make a trade?
Yes. They need another consistent three-point shooter.
Well, here's what I would say, Jackson. And I agree with Hunter. I hate messing with team chemistry. I do. And here's the other thing. The caveat is I think you could probably go Joe Wiggins and probably a first rounder, and you might be able to get him. But here's the problem. Cam Johnson would not start on this team. No. So he would also have to accept a role as being a guy who's coming off the bench. But, I mean, I like everything they have now. It's the adage, if it's broke, don't fix it. I agree with that, Hunter and Jay. But he's had a Cam Johnson, you can't argue with, has had a phenomenal year. He's a great scorer. He's also got linked to him. But, man, I don't know that he's going to want to come just – he would run the second unit, basically.
He has, but let me ask y'all this. In your opinion, because they have a 5.5 game lead, good chance they're going to be the number 1 seed. Your window right now to win a championship is now, okay? So, with that being said, do you think they have enough right now to win a championship with what they have? I do.
I think they do. And real quick to expand on what you're saying, the window opened just now. It's not
they have a long time. That's what I'm saying.
They have about as big of a window as you can have in the National Basketball Association. So with what they have, I think you go with it. I mean, last year they made a trade. It did not work out. It actually was part of the reason why the team came up short and not able to make it out of the second round, a guy that they gave up quite a bit to get. I mean, you couldn't even play him down the stretch in the playoffs. So I don't think that it's worth the benefit. It's more so ROI, in my opinion. Like, yes, they have a ton of draft picks, but Jackson's talking about what Presti's able to do with second round picks. What's he going to be able to do with these first rounders? He's going to have to do something with them. I don't think doing something with them should equivalent to getting Cam Johnson. I think there's better options out there if you're going to try to move away your picks. And it's also in something like that, what picks are you giving up? Are you giving up some of your 25 picks, or are you giving up the picks 8 years down the road? I don't know what Brooklyn's going to want there. I just know they're going to want a lot for Cam Johnson with him averaging over 18 points a game or 19.
And about 8 rebounds a game. About 8 rebounds a game.
Where would he fit on this team? Where would he fit?
He would run the second unit with Caruso. That's where he would be, guys. Hey, real quick, the window that I agree with you guys. The window, although this isn't a Catherine Zeta-Jones in entrapment where she's trying to squeeze up under it and barely fit through it. This is like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. The windows are off the house. It's wide open right now and primed for the taking this year. I mean, in a 7-game set, guys, with the way SGA is playing and the way this team is defensively, man, they're going to be they're going to be very hard to beat over a period of time, and especially with the home court.
Well, specifically, when you look at the West, it's not the dominant West that it's been. It's not the days of Golden State, Lakers.
It's too early to say that, Jim.
No, it's deep, but at the top, you don't have the dominant teams. I mean, who right now in the West?
I agree.
Who would you say
now? But
who scares you in the West?
I think as the season goes on, I still say Dallas.
I
mean,
agree, Dallas.
They beat Thunder. Timberwolves, maybe they figure it out. I don't know. I did not. We talked about it on the first Thunder Live we did, or at least I did, of how much I disliked that Karl Anthony Towns trade that they did. It felt like something that you had a good thing going. Why blow it up? And for both sides, I don't like how that trade really worked out. And then the Nuggets have Jokic. Like I think that's always going to be a concern because Nikola Jokic is that good. I mean, even with the team around him this year playing bad, there's always a chance with him.
Yeah, but
hey, it's also
you got iHeart now. You got iHeart for Jokic.
They do.
But you also got to think about, guys, other teams, when the trade deadline gets here, they're going to improve their rosters. This is not the final squad you're going to see from these teams. Getting a guy like Cam Johnson also keeps him off another team in the West.
That's a good point.
And Houston is better than people think.
I'm not that bought in on Houston, Jeremy.
I'm with you, Jackson. I think they're a couple years away.
Yeah.
They are better than I would have ever expected them to be this year, though.
Hey, Hunter and Jay, What player would you guys want the Thunder to trade for if they were to make it?
I don't want him to trade.
I don't
There's
have a
nobody
name.
out there.
I like this roster. And again, when we're talking about the window as open as it is for the Thunder right now, this is really the first year. I mean, last year was, but it was still way ahead of schedule. This is the time. I mean, SGA is playing like the MVP right now. I don't know if he'll win it. I still think they give it to Jokic, but what he's been doing it's just unbelievable. I mean, the other night he had like 4 or 5 steals. Tonight went shy of 30. Didn't play in the fourth quarter. So again, I think you just go with what you have right now. The chemistry. I mean, you see it night and night and night again with Nick Gallo in the postgame. I mean, these guys are very close. I think you go through playoffs with them after they got their feet in the water last year. You go through a full run now with Hartenstein and Caruso and see what you can do, because they might be able to win it. And if they don't, okay, then maybe you make a decision of something there. But right now, I don't see anyone that really sticks out of they have to go get this guy.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, I mean, you can go through teams and look at teams that have won the championship. Unless you're going out there to get like a big-time player in the trade deadline, a lot of times it doesn't work out. I mean, there are times it does. I mean, go Thunder when they had – was it when they had Westbrook and then before they went and got Derek Fisher? I mean,
yes, but
Yeah.
as a role player, backup point guard, I mean, it was okay, but I mean, he was fine. But
they also went and got another shooter one year. Hey, but listen, what they brought in with Caruso and Hartenstein, you asked, does this team have? I mean, those guys are Caruso's a guy that's been around the league forever. The leadership. They also. So you say, does this team have everything on the floor? They also have everything as far as locker room and leadership. That's the other thing. They haven't in the past. To me, what they brought in has helped in that. And I agree with Zoom Doof here that Hunter, Jackson, because I've been on calls with you guys last year. I used to criticize SGA's defense. I haven't as much this year. Imagine this. When you're around very, 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 very elite defenders, which they have, it's amazing. Everyone seems to get better. And we haven't even talked about J-Dub at all tonight. We haven't even mentioned J-Dub's name all night.
Hey, you bring up J-Dub. I think want to say it was today. Maybe it was yesterday. Can't remember when I saw it, but the first All-Star batch votes are out. If you haven't went and voted, go vote. You can vote every single day, NBA.com or Thunder social media. They post all the ways that you can vote. SGA amongst guards, number 1 in the West, and J-Dub was number 7. So chance for him to make his first All-Star game.
yeah, and hey, somebody mentioned earlier about the third quarter. I think it was Colin last few games, but y'all realize what the third quarter was this game? 42-20. And that's just
it was just shellacking.
whipping.
Yeah.
And do you think the Thunder want to beat the Clippers, guys? They get a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I don't even know
Clipper
at this point. At
could
this
win
point,
the lot.
Clips. I mean, all the picks. I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like,
Some of these picks that they have could end up winning lottery or a top 5 pick, and then you add something more to that. Like, I mean, the NBA is set up to where if you're the best team in the league, you don't get one of the first picks, and the Thunder are going to be the best team or one of the best teams in the league, and also very good chance to get some high draft picks unless they all, other than the Clippers picks, fall into their protected slot.
Hey, what happens next year if the Clippers they'd end up not doing good and the Thunder get their pick and somehow the Thunder end up with Cooper Flag? I mean, what do you do then? What do you do then, guys? I mean,
I have no idea.
you have to be unloading some guys or something.
Well, they would have to at that point, but
They've got all these guys under contract for another year.
yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone's under contract. They extended Caruso now since we've last been on here 4 years, 80 million, 81
And they're going to
million.
host. They're going to host so many playoff games this year.
You know who I would love to see them get next year in the lottery?
I know who you're going to say.
Jeremiah Fears.
Yep. I would love that.
Oh my gosh, that would be elite, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Jeremiah Fears. That'd be amazing.
Oh,
Just
So,
depends.
Ray Johnson from Texas too. That's another guy. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he'd be great.
Those guys all depend on where the protected picks end up. If they get locked or if not. I mean, the Clippers, that pick isn't going to get locked, but I think the 76ers pick for this year is like a top 6 lock, top 7 lock. So if it's anywhere in there, they don't get that pick.
Hunter, what about this one from Zach?
Let me go try to find it. I know there is a pick swap in there, which pick swaps are weird. I think they make it way too confusing to understand how they all work.
This is easy. It's an OU natty.
Oh yeah,
I hate this question though
It's an
because
OU national championship.
no, because during June I'll take the Thunder win.
No,
during
one of the two.
January I'd want the OU natty.
Pick one of the two, Jerm.
I mean,
Jeremy.
I will say
for me, OKC's gonna have more chances than OU. So I take.
Answer the question. Which
So I would take OU. I just said it.
Okay.
I will say they don't really do championship parades as much for college athletics.
No.
At least not on the same level. A championship parade in downtown Oklahoma City would be unbelievable.
I'd be more shocked at OU.
If that was to happen, I would most definitely be in Oklahoma City for the championship parade. I think all of us would.
Hey, question for you guys. The next 5 years, including this year, over or under Thunder 2 championships? I think that's the line. You said
Push.
it.
I say push.
Push. I think a lot of people would say push.
That's where I'm at because I think there's a very good chance that you could get for the next few years Thunder Boston series. Just
Boston is good
because of the way that Boston plays. They won it last year, and I don't think they're going away anytime soon. And then, I mean, talking about the future of the Thunder, like they really haven't reached their full potential yet.
Hey, do you know who in my opinion, player, the MVP of Boston is? Derek White.
They have a lot of good roles.
Yeah, but he's so good. He's very underrated. But anytime they need a big shot or big three, he knocks it down. I mean, the guy doesn't miss when it's on. I mean, he is so good, man. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Zias has been to more parades than Tom Brady.
Hey, the question, I'm trying to remember who asked. Zach about the pick swap. So let me read what I found. Oklahoma City has the right to swap its 2025 first-round pick for Houston's 25 first-round protected from picks selections 1 through 10 or the Clippers' first-round pick. Houston then has the rights to swap its pick with the OKC pick to Brooklyn for Phoenix's pick if the Houston pick falls within its protected range. Houston's obligation to OKC will be extinguished, and Houston will instead have the right to swap its pick to Brooklyn for the Phoenix pick. I read all that, and I still don't understand what it says. Maybe I need to get on NBA 2K, and maybe it explains it a little easier in terms of the protection. So, yes, there is the potential for a big swap, but I'm going to probably go out on a limb and say that one isn't going to happen this year.
Yeah, and Joseph was like, how many times did the Thunder beat Boston the last 2 years? I'm
Did
trying
they
to think.
beat Boston last year?
I
want to
believe
see
so. Yes, I believe.
I think they played pretty well against them. I don't know if they swept them, but I think they played pretty well, decent games. I thought they lost one, but I might be wrong. So, yeah, guys, just kind of some closing thoughts here before we get off. Back-to-back tomorrow, right? Back-to-back game. So, Knicks, is it Knicks tomorrow? I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Yes. Playing the former team.
Joseph says it was a sweep. So, give us your closing thoughts, guys, before we get off here.
Well, I guess I'll start. But Thunder, they just continue to do, I think, what we all kind of have expected them to do, dominate teams that they should dominate. This is a Clippers team that didn't have James Harden tonight. They did that. You guys have talked about it a lot, the stretch they have upcoming. is that they have the Knicks twice, the Celtics, and the Cavs, I think. So some extremely great teams. This will definitely be, I think, kind of that litmus test at this point in the season for the Thunder to see where they're truly at, if they truly are ready to take that championship step like we all think that they can. And I just think that the Thunder, they're going to continue to dominate. And honestly, I don't know how much of a hot take this is, but I think they're going to go 4-0 against all those teams.
What do you think the win streak gets to?
I think over 20. I think that they can.
Wow, over 20?
I think the win streak ends in one of the next 4 games. I think looking at their next 4, they can go 3-1. That's really good. I mean, even if they split, that stuff happens. Like, you're playing some very good teams over the next few days, and it's going to happen. The team's not at full strength, but my takeaway from all this is SGA is just on another level right now. It's unbelievable to watch. I mean, you're watching history right now with the way he's playing.
You are.
I mean, you look at some of the comparisons for SGA. StatMoose puts them out all the time. Those are names that are anytime you get compared to that, that's what I'm referring to. I didn't want to really say the name, but that's what I was referring to. Anytime you're compared to the GOAT, that's a special thing. Like,
wait, what was that?
It was about his points and steals, what he's able to do on both ends of the floor. It's just special. I mean, it really is. I mean, had a handful of 40-point games, leads the NBA in 30-point games as well. So, yeah, I think he's going to carry this team a long way.
My closing thoughts, and let me get to Jordan's comment first. How do you join the Discord? First, you find any of our videos, you go to the description, and you sign up to be a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. After you do that, we'll be notified. You can then email us at SoonerSurgePod@gmail.com, and we will give you the Discord link to the Discord, okay? My closing thoughts, I was sitting there watching the third quarter tonight, and I saw a defensive possession where the Thunder's rotation was absolutely phenomenal. They continue to just hunker down and close in on guys. There was no space to breathe. And I sat there, and it was on the Clippers end. The Clippers bench, and this is with Jay Will in and some others. The Clippers bench, you could tell, like, I don't know if every guy they bring out is going to play this hard. To me, it's how hard they play. It's clamped down every possession. They want to win every possession. If they're going to do that, they're not going to be beat. Ring them, crown them, whatever you want to say. It's going to happen. There will be a parade in OKC. We'll be there for it. We'll have a live right after it, okay?
Is that it, Jerm? You done?
That's it. That's all I got.
I wouldn't say right after. It's going to take a long time.
That's a great finish, Jerm.
Self-service following a parade in downtown Oklahoma City.
Hey, my closing thought here, and then I'll close it. And first, appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We've taken a little bit of break with the holidays from the Thunder Lives, but good to see everybody back this year. My closing thought is this: enjoy January, because this is going to be a true test. They have one of the toughest schedules in the NBA in January. So this is true ball being played in January. So enjoy it. It's going to be a fun month, and then you have the All-Star break, and then hopefully Chet gets back. But enjoy this month. It's going to be some great basketball. So if you can get out there and watch a game, do it. It's great. So
and enjoy it with us on the Sooner Surge. We'll be doing our Thunder Forum, our Thunder Lives, a lot coming up. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We thank you all for being here tonight. Hit the like before you leave and do us a favor, and we'll see you next time.